Here's a quick video on how to set up Scan to Network on a newer series Lexmark XC4140. The process is a little different than the previous models. You'll see here in the screen you want to go to your apps. First you'll have to, like, say, log in to through the IP address in your web interface to get to this programming page. Before you even start this, you need to have your shared folder configured. You need your login credentials, all the proper sharing done before you even start this point. So, like I say, make sure you have your sharing done, login credentials. I usually recommend against credentials that change regularly, just for the fact that somebody's got to go in and reprogram this every time there's a change. So I've got all that done already on my computer. So we will go into the app configuration. So when you go into apps, you have to see here on the screen, you'll see the Scan Center options, Scan Center Network. So you have to make sure the Scan Center Network is running, and also just the Scan Center, if you look a little bit lower here, the Scan Center itself running. All the other Scan Centers don't need to be running. As long as you got Scan Center and Scan Center Network, you'll be good to go, and that will allow the function to work. So we're just going to go into Scan Center Network, and in here you see Scan Center Network folder. You just want to go into Configure. And in the configuration, you're going to get basically two options. You're going to see the Create Shortcut and Create Network folder. I probably prefer the Create Shortcut because at the same time you're creating your network folder, it does the shortcut, and you can actually have a specific button on your touch screen for that scan. Whereas if you go straight into the network folder section, you have to actually go through the Scan Center button, then Network, then you will see the configuration or the shortcut. So if you do it here, Create Shortcut, you can do it all in one step. So that's the easiest route to go, and that's what we're going to show you here today. So Create Shortcut, and give it a shortcut name. So if you just want to give it a specific, say it's server location or scan to somebody's specific computer, I'm just going to say laptop in this case. So I'm just going to scan the laptop. I can give it a shortcut number or leave it at 0, but I'm going to actually say we're going to give it number 50 just so it has its own shortcut number. So we want it to display on the home screen, so that way I have my own actual button. You can come into this default scan settings also. So you might want to turn color on. You might want to set it to, say, 200 dpi instead of 300. You've got all your other content options. You might want text photo instead of text. So you've got all these options that you can manipulate as you're creating it. So once you get all the settings you want, and in this case, because we don't already have a scan folder programmed, we're not going to add a network folder. We're going to actually create the network folder at the same time. So in this Create Network folder, there's your programming. So you're going to see here, you don't really need the user to edit it on the panels. You can uncheck that. You just want to be able to give them a location to do what they need to do. So display name, we can give it the same name. We can call it laptop also. Could be John's computer, could be Doug's computer. It could be, you know, whatever you want to put in there. The SMB is your type of scan. You don't need to change that. We're not doing an FTP. So SMB is what you want. And your folder address, from your shared file, you would have your folder. So I have mine already there. So there's my link to my share. You can even browse through folders too on a computer if you got a link up. It's better if you can actually put it in to start with. And you'll see down here, we need to have authentication. So we want to be able to use a static username and password. My username in this case is going to be scans. So this would be the similar login credentials that maybe this specific computer has for just logging into it. Or maybe there was a new user created just for scans, makes life a little bit easier. And make sure you put in your password there to go with it. So we've now got our login name, our password, and we can actually test that connection. So we're looking for a green check mark to make sure it's communicating. Yeah, we got a good communication. And if you want to check advanced options, if there's anything else you might need, we'll just come in here. You can allow the users to create folders. You can even, I don't bother with the XML, just creates an extra file that most people don't even use. So, and in most cases, we don't even need to allow users to create folders. We just want to be able to put the file into that location. So we'll just save this. So now what you should see once it's all saved, I'll just check it again just in case. So now you'll see the location. There's a shortcut. It's just called laptop. Shows the destination. And if I want to delete it, it's right there. So that's as simple as it gets for doing this. Usually and you can also see down here, there's the actual folder. It shows the folder, SMB. So it's now in the list. So say if you want to create another shortcut, you could actually use that same path, but you're creating a shortcut that might have some different preferences. And in that case, you might want to have one called color and one called black and white. So one has the preferences of a color default setting and the other one has a black and white default setting. So you can make these whatever you need them to be. So hopefully that will help you out in configuring this. Like say, half the time it's usually getting the proper link to that shared folder is usually the biggest problem. So getting that proper link with the proper credentials, you get a green check mark, you should be good to go. This should be pretty simple. And by having the shortcut, you now have a specific button right on the touch screen of your machine. Have a good day.